All right, guys, welcome back. Queensland League Scene, episode 19. We have got a blockbuster show in store for you, so stick around. Of course, we just passed round 15 of the Host Plus Cup, and wasn't there some interesting scorelines from the weekend, John?
The Bears, we talked about the Blackhawks obviously needing to stay in the top eight. Unfortunately, they look like they're getting close to that minor premiership, but the Bears too good for the Blackhawks, made at Pizzey Park.
Yeah, the Bears, very strong outfit, and they, of course, got over the top of the Blackhawks, so holding steady into the finals are the Bears. It's interesting. No one's really pushed them all the way this year. They did have that loss against the Pride, but no one's really pushed them regularly, so they might need to start thinking about how they're going to do this final series because, it seems like they're just in gear 4 cruising at the moment, doesn't it, John?
Certainly the 2019 premiers.
2019 premiers.
There you go. That's how goes my memory. The Falcons sitting in second spot. They remain in that spot after a good win against the Tweed Seagulls. The Tweed Seagulls, is that it for the flock from below the border, Taylor Brown?
Look, it'll be disappointing if that is the case, if it is the end of the Tweedhead Seagulls in terms of this competition, because I think they had a side where when they put it together, they could beat anyone on their day. So, look, it is a good win from the Falcons. I think this was a really high quality game of rugby league. So good on the Falcons. And I'd like to see Tweed pull it together in the last couple of weeks to push for a final 8.
Yeah, they're only a couple of points out of the top 8, obviously. The Seagulls dropping out are on 18, and obviously your Tweed on 18 and Blackhawks on 18. So, anything can happen. It's a crazy thing, this Host Plus Cup. Also, round 15, my little mick up. Talking about the Seagulls getting rolled by the Pride, that's 2 on the trot for the Seagulls.
Yeah, this has sort of been the surprise pack of the last couple of weeks. Seagulls declining. Of course, at the start of the year, we mentioned them as possible grand final berth, but they're having a little hiccup at the moment. They'll need to get over that quickly as we're edging closer and closer to the finals.
Yeah, Pride 20 points to 16, so good luck to them. Jets getting another win here. They've taken a long time to get off the tarmac. Taylor Brown, you like that? They did so against the Cutters and cut them down.
Yeah, absolutely. It took them a while to get off the tarmac, but once they got in the air, there's been no turbulence. Just some really good flying weather there for the Jets, and they smoothed past the Cutters. It's a bit of one of those seasons for the Jets now. They're starting to pull it together. If they had a few more early season wins, they could have been fighting for the top 8 possibly in the back end of the season. So a lot of questions over there at North Ipswich Oval that they might be going to waste.
That's a loss the Cutters didn't need either. And they very rarely lose at home as well, Taylor.
Yeah, it's been one of those seasons for the Cutters, hasn't it? They've been up and down, and they've had some good form, and then they've had some questionable form. So the Cutters will be kicking themselves after that loss.
All right, and then let's go to it. Redcliffe absolutely pumping the premiers, mate. Unbelievable. Look, credit where credit's due, mate. They're playing good footy.
Yeah, look, start calling me Nostradamus Brown because I did predict a couple of weeks ago Dolphins to get a couple on the trot, and they'll just keep pushing like this into the finals. They had 4 in a row, had that draw with the Capras, and everyone sort of thought, well, what's going on there on the peninsula? But they've pulled it together. Big win over the premiers from last year. So I think the Dolphins, they push up into the top 4 now, don't they?
They do on that for and against, but look, that's a really big win. That's 30 plus against the premiers. I don't know what's happening at Bishop Park here, but they just sort of, I'm not going to blame the coaching, all that sort of stuff, but obviously there's been a few changes, obviously, with the coaches. Their back line always seems to be changing, and they don't seem to have the same sort of regularity with that at Bishop Park. But I'm sorry, Troy Ravelli and the boys are trying to smart that up because finals are just around the corner. The Hunters, there's the points, 62 points to 24. The Capras, look, mate, at the start of the year, you would have said, oh, yeah, they'll do all right, but holy smokes.
Yeah, they're killing it. The Capras, they're playing some really good football. Obviously, 62-point differential there. They're getting it on top of the Hunters. So, look, it's very exciting times for the Rockhampton club. I'm very interested to see how they go deep into the final series. I think they have a real shot of a grand final this year if they keep some good form going because they've been a very consistent side at the top of the competition the whole season, John.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, look out the Capras. Tigers, Magpies. The Magpies looked like they had it, and then Jaden Nicarima scores in the final minutes, and the Tigers remain alive for 2022, but only just.
Yeah, they're only just, and it's probably more indicative that they had that really close loss to the Magpies. Magpies have not had a good season by any remarks. They've only won one game so far in season 2022. I don't think it says any real good things about the Tigers that they were pushed all the way from the Magpies. So they're another side, along with the Devils, the Blackhawks, the Tweedhead Seagulls. They need to start pulling things together if they want to remain intact with that top 8, because there's a good 3 or 4 different places there in the semi-final series that could go to any one of, well, probably about 6 teams.
Still a bogey side for the rest of Tigers, because I think they had a draw with South early in the year, did they not?
Yeah, they did. They did have a draw at the start of the year. So, yeah, interesting.
All right, the ladder at the moment, we see the Bears are on top on their own. Falcons, Capras, Dolphins moving into the top 4. We'll say that again. Dolphins into the top 4. I'd rather say than you said it. William Manly dropped to 5th. Devils down to 6th. The Tigers moved to 7th. Blackhawks with their loss on 8th. And then we've got the Tweed Seagulls, Pride, Cutters. They're the only sides that probably can make the top 8. And I think it's the season's over for the Hunters, the Jets, and for the Magpies, mate. So there you go. I caught up with
stretch.
Yep, I caught up with Matthew Milson. He's been in and out of the north side, but he was part of that romping from the Dolphins. And here's Matt's chat about that. And it doesn't get any easier for the Devils. They take on the Bears this weekend. But here's Matty. Well, he's one of the most electrifying players in broken play. He wears the number 1 on his back. He plays for the North Devils. There's none other than premiership winning in the BRL level. Matthew Milson, how are you, Matt?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good, mate. Up and down year for yourself, form-wise, from the Devils down to the diehards. Frustrating?
No, I think it was just a bit of got to look after my body, because I was doing a bit of labouring in that at first, and then thought I needed to get away from that just to sort of focus on footy a lot more and, help my body out too as well. So, that's good.
I should take your advice, but it's too late for me. But anyway, hey, listen. When I say premiership winning, you obviously played for the Seagulls when they won the BRL premiership as well, and then the Diehards won the Devils won the premiership last year with Rowan Smith. What's the vibe around Bishop Park at the moment with you guys because of the premiership last year? I know Rowan didn't want to talk about it, but he's not here anymore. Is there a little bit of a hangover still?
No, I think the vibe's still there. Obviously, like the boys or everyone pretty much is working hard, trying to get that back to back, or new host plus cup. So, I think everyone there at the club is working very hard. So, the vibe's still the same. So, everyone's competing for spots and that too there as well. So, which is good.
Doesn't get any better between North and Redcliffe, but unfortunately Redcliffe just red hot, mate. They are in top form. They've gone from 13th to 4th in a matter of weeks, so you're up against a pretty red hot side. What was the talk at half time, mate? Because it didn't look pretty then either.
No, I think they just had like a really good roll on. They were rolling our forward really good, and we just couldn't keep in front of them, I guess, and slow to play the ball down. They were just running them up against us. But no, I think it was a bit of I guess, I don't know how to say it, but I think we just had to control what we had to control. But, at the same time, I felt like things just weren't going our way at times. But, you get that. That's footy, I guess.
You get those days, and I remember somebody saying to me the opposition were better that day, and they're allowed to be, because the same thing will happen you'll do to another side. You'll be red hot on your day. But Redcliffe certainly finds a purple patch at the moment. Look, it doesn't get any easier for you this weekend, Matty. The Burleigh Bears.
Yeah, no. Well, we are looking forward to the contest.
Yep.
Everyone will be going out there to do their job, so that's all that we need to do from us players. So, we're looking forward to it.
Training today's Wednesday. Training on Tuesday night. What was the main focus?
We had training on Monday. Then we got training tonight at Wednesday. So, I think we'll probably be working really hard on our D and see where we go from there.
Is it because of the changes? I said you play for Valleys. Is it the changes from North? Although I think the previous week I don't think any North players came back and played for Valleys. But is there a little bit of up and down movement that just creates that sort of uncertainty each week for the coaches? It can't be a lot of fun depending on what Kevy Walder sends back or who's injured or who's got COVID. It's just a nightmare as a coach, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I guess that's footy too. So, I get it with Bronx players coming back, but you still got to be out there, performing and doing everything out training to get into that team. So, I get that.
Do you like the competition between yourself, Kyle Van Claveren, and obviously Jack Ahern as well? You're the better looking of the three of them, of course. But good looks don't get you selected. Or maybe with Kyle it does. But it's a healthy competition, isn't it, between the three of you?
Yeah, no, well, everyone, is pretty much helpful, especially with the three of us there. So, I like to sit at the back sort of thing and then learning. When I first come there, I like to sit at the back and learning from, JA and Kyle too as well. So, I think everyone's very helpful in that sort of position. So no one's ahead of themselves, but, it's good.
Is it fullback your preferred spot? Have you ever played in the halves?
Yeah, I have played halves when I was actually at Wynnum back in BRL. That was about it. But, I love fullback. I'll play wherever's needed. So, I'll put my hand up wherever I need to play. So, yeah.
Tony Tamusa. We talk about people being in when he's in form, mate. I'll tell you what, there's not too many players that can stop Tony Tamusa when he runs. Jaden Corrigan's no one. So Connor Broadhurst. You've just got an electrifying backline. Rashun Denny, mate. It's just give to the backs. Drive for show and putt for dough, they say. Yeah,
nah. I think we are really, our backs that we got there are really good too. So everyone just feeds off it too. So if someone makes a break or whatever. So I think our backs is really good.
How's Lloyd going?
What's that, sorry?
How's Lloyd going up front? Late start to the season, Lloyd Perrott?
Yeah, no, he's really good to play off. He loves to get that little offload. So
doesn't he?
Yeah. He's a hard man to tackle too. So yeah, no, he's good.
Yeah, exactly right. Well, listen, Matty, let's talk about game day, mate. You got any rituals you do on a game day?
Nah, just sort of get up and have a feed and then have a coffee and then just go for a walk and just chill out pretty much. But not much.
I've seen you on the sidelines before a game. You look pretty chill. You don't even look like you're about to play a game of footy. It's rather nerve-wracking to see how composed you are.
No, I like to just, keep it to myself and then just whatever happens, I guess.
Beautiful. What about tunes, mate? Do you whack any music in the ears beforehand?
Yeah, I love getting around listening to the music, especially out north. The vibe there with the music and that, what they got planned. So, it's good. What
genre do you like the best, mate?
Oh, I'm into anything.
No, you're not. Give me a genre.
Nah, I like a bit of R&B and all that sort of stuff. So, it's good.
Mate, R&B, fantastic. Every Friday afternoon, there's a particular radio station plays R&B. And I spoke to Wes Lolo and Georgie Fye. There's a new music that's out there, Afro Wild. What it is? It's supposed to be a really funky music I'm trying to get into. So I think you, Wes, and Georgie should get a threesome going, mate. Get a bit of a hand going. Off season.
No, I'm all good.
Take it on the road. But anyway, hey, Matt, listen, look, as I said at the start of the interview, mate, there's nobody better in the back line when in broken play, when you've got that elusiveness. You remind me a little bit of Gary Jack, the way you can swerve your way through the back. I'm showing my age now here, but he was an extraordinary player in broken play. And I think the plan for North for mine is just give it to Matt Milson and get ready for the conversion.
No, I appreciate it. No, I love to just, play my natural game, just play whatever is in front of me. So, I look forward to this weekend and see where it goes.
All right, Matty. Thanks for your time, mate, on Queensland League scene. All the best and good luck against the Bears this weekend. You're up against a fairly formidable side. They're not on the top ladder for their good looks, but, it'll certainly see where you're at. But you need this win to stay in the top 8, mate.
Yeah, no. Should be good. It'll be a good challenge. See what we're up against. So, looking forward to it.
All right, look after that beautiful face, mate.
Thank you.
Good on you, mate. Thank you.
All right, John, that was good chat there from Matty Milson. Obviously talking about the Devils, and they do have a big challenge on their hands if they're going to come back and try and have that elusive back-to-back premiership years 22 and 21. Let's move on to the Hastings Deerings Colts competition, and let's talk about the round that was round 13 there. And interestingly enough, I don't know if you're the man that does the stats. When was the last time we saw a forfeit in the Hastings Deerings Colts competition?
Well, look, let's put it in perspective, I suppose, Taylor. The fact of the matter is that there is COVID. There's a lot of flu around, and and they're going to struggle. And the thing is, they don't have any depth either. So, it's a shame for the Clydesdales, but that's just. I'm actually surprised it hasn't happened in a lot of other grades as well. But look, put it this way: the Clydesdales would get them out there. They would have if they could have put. 15-year-olds, they would have done so, but they can't, obviously. So, that's just the way it goes. And hopefully that's the last time we'll see that sort of thing. But it doesn't look good. But these things can't be happening. We are in crazy times.
We are in crazy times. And I guess with the fact that the competition has stayed alive all year, there's been no stoppages. Sometimes we seem to forget that COVID has had a massive impact, is still having a massive impact on all of our lives. So let's hope that whoever they had with COVID comes back this year. We'll just go straight.
Falcons too good for the Seagulls, 30 points to 26. Winner Manly, talk about it, pumping 100 points on the Pride. Jets had a win, so back-to-back wins for the Jets in both levels, 30 points to 26. Dolphins 54-10 over the Devils. Blackhawks 52 over the Bears 18, and the Tigers 54 over the Magpies 16. All right, mate. Well, the Tweed Seagulls, they're looking for back-to-back premierships here in the Hastings Deerings Colt competition. They sit alone at the top of the ladder. Blackhawks, Dolphins, they're doing well things up there at Moreton Daly. Capras, Falcons, Tigers, Magpies, and Seagulls ran out the top 8. And then we got the Bears, Cutters, Jets, Devils, Prides, and Clydesdales. Mate, you're our illustrious unbathed friend, Lee Addison, and yourself had a chat about the Colts competition.
Yeah, we did. We've been focusing, as people know, on the Colts competition of the last couple of weeks. And Lee Addison was kind enough to review the Sunshine Coast Falcons and their recent game. And let's have a look at that right now with our mate from rugbyleaguecoach.com.au, Lee Addison. As always, we have our colourful English friend, Lee Addison from rugbyleaguecoach.com.au, back to break down another one of our games. And sticking with our Hastings Deerings Colts theme, we are looking a little bit north this week, Lee.
A little bit north if you're in Brisbane, yes, at the Sunshine Coast Falcons. Although those on the north end of Queensland will be thinking it's very south, won't they? Even I know that. Look, I've got a map here. Look, I've got a map. Look, when I take you through this, Taylor, I'm going to try and resist the opportunity to pause and stop and look at things in detail. I'm just going to let the tape run because it's a longer tape this week. The Falcons played against Tweed in their last outing, and they were 24-6 up at half-time, but only managed to win 30-26. Now, they're in fifth, and they've got like an 8-4 record. And I think I found out why. They are quite inconsistent when they finish the sets and don't manage and I've spoken about this 1,000 times already on Queensland League Scene, the temperature of the game. And it's been a few months since I've talked about field position and building pressure and holding the ball and not giving away too many piggyback penalties. So the best way of showing you this is if I share my screen.
Share the screen. Let's roll the tape.
Share the screen.
Do you mind if I share the screen?
We are watching the start of the game. So this is the very first kickoff. As you can see, that's a very quick look. They just play the game at such a tempo. I was tempted to speed this footage up so we got through it quicker. But then I noticed the temperature and the tempo of the game. Look how quick everything is. The ruck control is minimal. And I want the viewer to look at where each set ends. So Falcons have just returned it from their 10-meter line.
Great shot, young fella.
Great shot. Maybe we just need to turn into commentators for this analysis this week, because I want to give everyone a bigger picture of what happens. We're going to keep the tape rolling through the game until it gets to the first try. Even Tweed aren't really doing the ruck things too well, but they're doing it better than the Falcons are based on the first set. Would you agree?
Absolutely.
But what a tempo in the game. And I don't even mind how the Falcons have gone quite direct there and just done a +1 and then a scoot. I really like that. Look how they've marched up the field. So attacking threat, really good from the Falcons. They've returned serve, and it looks like about the 18, 19 meters. So basically the field position battle is quite equal now, but you just give Tweed the edge by 8 meters when we're talking at each end of the field. So looks like the Falcons did a little bit of better ruck control there. Line speed is absolutely brilliant. I see so much good in this Falcons defense, but maybe that line speed was too fast because they gave away a penalty.
Yeah, they're known for their line speed all throughout the club. The Falcons, it's something they really focus on. They have noticeably tight A, B, and C defenders and push really hard from the inside out.
And I can see elements of that in this. And I can also see that the coach obviously got the message down to kill a few more rucks and kill it a little bit better. So their energy, their enthusiasm, their defensive system, not too bad. The thing is, you can have all the good systems, but if you don't manage the temperature of the game, you're in some trouble. You're in some trouble. And as the viewer watches this tape with us, might feel like you're just watching a match at the minute, but you'll start to see it unravel eventually. They could have easily conceded points here. They didn't. They got a forward pass or an in-touch decision. But can you see Tweed have pinned them back now in their own 10 a couple of times now?
Yes.
Right? So when you look at why the Falcons are only 8-4, when you look at why this game was 24-6 at halftime and then 30-26 at full time, I think already you're seeing some warning signs. The fast defensive rucks and the way that Tweed have pinned them back for a couple of sets. Now, the Falcons managed to get some of their own medicine back there, but then they've just lost possession. So can you see how this game is being played at a frenetic pace?
It's very quick. There's no one's using their tempo to slow the ball down in defense or it's just all speed at the moment. All gas, speed, no brakes.
And there's not anybody really controlling the game, is there? It's if anything, you think Tweed are controlling the game at the minute because the field position is in their favour a little bit. But not only is the game fast, but the game is fast mentality-wise. So they've had, they've turned the ball over just at the first tackle there where they had it stripped, but they've managed to defend okay. So I'm looking at the Falcons. They're attacking okay. They're defending okay. It's just the game management that's causing them a few problems and their ruck control. Their system looks all right. Their attacking structure looks okay. They just need to put it together in a package. So in this next few minutes, you'll see that they start to gradually get into that. This is the second exit set we've seen them do. 3 plays quite direct to the middle of the field. Then the fourth one, I thought they might have done a +1 then, but they didn't. Maybe the +1 or the scoop comes next. Instead, the kick from dummy half. Can you see how this game's just going from one end to the other, one end to the other, one end to the other? It's crying out for one team to set control of it and pin the ball down the other end of the field.
I think it's crying out for just one player to take control of their side and say, this is our direction, we're going here. And it doesn't have to be a team. It just has to be a clear voice and a direction from within the playing group. One thing I've noticed is that even from 9, when they're taking off, they're taking off at speed. No, there's no, small deceptions and then a little bit of movement or anything like that. It's just all big, jerky sort of take off. And you know what I mean?
Can you see now why I've pulled out this whole section? Because there is a lack of patience in the game from both teams, isn't there? Tweed just coughed up possession now. So one team just needs to calm the farm a bit and get some control of the game. Now, great patterns there, great shape, great hole running from the right edge back rower. I don't know if you know any names here, Taylor. This 9 is really starting to make his mark, isn't he, with his scoots and
I believe that's young Smoothie.
Half. I really like the way he looks around there. I really like the look of him. And look, there's another warning sign there. They see how they basically just throw the ball away?
Yeah.
And then somehow they got it back. This game is frenetic. Now, this is the second half. Okay? So at half time, the 24-6 up. How did they finish that set then, Taylor?
That last set, they've kicked it straight out. Yeah, so 7 tackle repeat.
Yep. Knock on. There's also a number on the video. I don't know if I had a number. See, there's a number 1 there.
Yeah,
that was tackle 1. That was tackle 1.
Oh.
So what I want the viewer and what I want you to see, Taylor, is how frantic they are all the time. They obviously got up 24-6 at half time. They have a good attacking structure. They put it together, obviously, for a period of time. You've got to put it together for the whole period of the game. They kick early here, go for the 40-20, and it ends up being returned quite well. But they were kicking from their own area because they were getting pinned back. So if you're wondering why the Falcons were up at half time and then it was a close game in the end, I think these are all the signs. The penalties, pinned back in their own half, repeat sets, losing football. They're just playing the game too frenetic. They need to dial it down a little bit. Play fast, but don't rush, is what I always say to my players. A kick there, go straight down the throat of the back three. So it's a different analysis this week. We're not looking at the X's and O's. We're looking at the temperature of the game. Another penalty. Can you see why they imploded in the second half?
Yeah, they are. They seem like a very good football side. And to be clear, they seem well coached in there. As you mentioned, their systems and the way they play up-tempo football, they just need a few calm heads in and around that side.
That kick there was just out their own 30, so they only got to the 30 metres, and then they gave away a penalty.
Would you agree that they certainly have the makings to be a real threat in the competition if they can pull a few things in together
100%.
coming into the finals? Yeah,
100%. That there was just a tap restart, so they had 6 tackles to defend on their own 10 metres. Another repeat set. I mean, Tweed are starting at an advantage all the time in this second half, aren't they? Another repeat set. So now you know why the scoreline turned around. I think they're a great football side. I think they're well coached. What they're not either grasping from their coach or they're not well coached in this manner is game management. You can win any game of football and control any game of football if you hold the ball. There's another poor end to the set. Hold the ball, build pressure, get field position, reduce piggybacks. There's a crossing penalty, and that's on tackle 3. The ref must have got a call from up top. So they only scored 1 try in the second half. I didn't put that in. But this is how often they were giving the opposition something back.
Too much opportunity.
So the lesson I guess I'm trying to get across is that I didn't want to then talk about lines of run or block plays or where the set was going, this, that, and the other. I did a little bit. I did talk about ruck control, and there was a clear speed to the start of that game. And speed is caused by a couple of things. One, by the speed of the players running the football and running around the football. Number 2, by the speed of the ruck. And the speed of the ruck was rapid, particularly early on. That doesn't mean you rush in your head. So they've got to have fast feet and calm heads. Fast feet, calm heads. Go fast, but not rush. Somebody's got to get control of that team, be it the coach or the skipper or the half or whoever they want to have control of it. I get the feeling that 9 has a bit of control of that team too. Play the game down the opposite end of the field a lot more and think a bit longer term. Think that try that they scored, the first set that I showed you, the first set of sets, they scored because they managed to build a tiny bit of pressure by keeping the opposition down the other end. And I've never seen a try like that before where they lose the ball and the other team lose the ball and then they get it back again and score. I've never seen that before. So they just need to dial it down a tiny bit, just play a little bit less frantically in the head, and they'll turn some of these losses and some of these bad second halves into good second halves and good wins.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, mate. A great analysis on a side that can do a lot of damage in this Colts competition if they do bring it together towards the back end of the season. Thank you very much, Lee. rugbyleaguecoach.com.au for anyone interested in more of his services, and we'll catch you next week. All right, John, moving on to round 16 of the Host Plus Cup. Now, this is what we have coming up this weekend. The Dolphins will travel up to Burketon for country round to play the Blackhawks.
Yeah, country round, always a good initiative by the QRL to take, and the Queensland government, obviously, to take the game to the bush. And as we saw at Origin the other week, how many country players play for Queensland these days, mate? It's certainly a breeding ground for some superstars.
Yeah, let's not talk about Origin last week, John. Yes, it is a breeding ground for superstars in the outback, in the bush, and it's really good to see this initiative. I always love playing Country Round, and I know all the players look forward to it as well. So Dolphins taking on the Blackhawks, mate. What do you think is going to happen over there at Burdekin?
Well, I'm going to go with the Dolphins. I know it's going to be. There's no home ground advantage to anybody here, but I think the Dolphins are just on a purple patch, mate. I'm not going to go against you, mate. I mean, I could probably beat you in a thumb wrestle, but I don't think I can outdo you in this one. Yeah, I think the Dolphins will maintain their top 4 spot. Tigers.
Yeah,
and,
look, I'm going to do something. I
want to move on, so because this is a waste of time.
I'm actually going to do something crazy this week, something I've never done before, but I think the Dolphins will have a slight hiccup this week on the way to the semifinals. They've had a really good run of form. They're on top of things, but I'm actually going to tip the Blackhawks to get the Dolphins in air.
I have no idea who I'm talking to right now.
At me.
Where's Sarah Brown?
Mate, I love the Dolphins. I always will, but I'm thinking with my footy head here. I think the Blackhawks will get it done. They're a quality side. They're fighting for the semis. Dolphins a little more secure there. I hate to say it. I still love the Dolphins, but I think they'll get done this weekend.
And that was the last we saw of Taylor Brown.
I've been swallowed by the peninsula.
Capras and the Falcons, mate.
Someone hears and knocks.
Yeah, Capras and Falcons, mate. I reckon the Capras might do it again. 3rd versus 2nd doesn't get any better. This is up at Rockhampton. I'm going to go the Capras.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a really good game. Interesting. It's at Monto. Where is Monto?
Northern
Monto is Monto.
Yeah, Northern Queensland somewhere. I don't know.
Northern Queensland somewhere. I'm going to say that the Falcons get this one done on an away trip. I think the Falcons get this one done against the Capras. So that'll be an interesting match, but I think that's what's going to happen in Monto.
I'm going to go with the Capras. Seagulls up against the Jets. That's the Tweed Seagulls. Are the Jets going to go 3 from 3?
In Springshaw, I think the Tweeds head Seagulls will get up against the Jets. I think they're going to bounce back. They're still in that little run for the semi-finals. They've got a little bit more to play for than the Jets, and I think Tweed head Seagulls will go there on a mission.
All right, so here we go. Pride are up against the Magpies. This is at Ken Brown Oval Thursday. Oh, now that is a trip and a half.
Yeah, it is a trip and a half. It'll be a nice.
That is Northern Queensland.
Look, I tip the Magpies here. I think the Magpies will get the job done purely off the basis that it's a bit of a trip away. They pushed Brisbane Tigers all the way last weekend. There's a little bit of confidence there. I think they'll get the job done against the Pride.
I think the Pride will win this one because they won't want to lose, upset what they did last week against Winner Manly. And I reckon the Pride in that one up on Thursday. I'll Winner Manly up against the Cutters. I think the Seagulls will bounce back.
Yeah, Seagulls are due for a bounce back, mate. 2 in a row. It's very un-Winner Manly-like, so I think we'll see the Winner Manly Seagulls bounce back.
Devils up against the Bears. Do the Devils cough up another 50 points against the top of the table Bears?
No, I think the Devils beat the Bears.
Who is up? What's going on here?
Mate, I'm shocking the world today. I'm shocking the world. This is what I'm thinking. I think the Devils have a lot to fight for. The way they play football stylistically in the past has troubled the Bears. Bears like that grinding football. Devils love to play exciting styles of football. And I think they get it done, especially in front of a crowd that's not familiar with them. The crowd will get behind the Devils because they play more expensive football. I can see a path to victory for the Devils this weekend.
All right. Well, the 2020 and the 2019 premiers go up against 20 whatever it is. I don't know. Anyway. All right. Well, there's some crazy tips there, mate. It should be an exciting weekend. Country Round, as we mentioned, brought to you by the Queensland government as well. So, and we'll see how your tips go, mate. Didn't you tip New South Wales as well?
Ladies and gentlemen. Well, hang on. Now that's a personal attack. You're always coming back to these personal attacks, and I don't get it. I'm just trying to report on the rugby league. If you're out and about in somewhere in Western, Northern Queensland, wherever it is, if you're close enough to a game, and in the country that means 2 hours, get your Akubra on, get in the car, get there for some good football and some good rugby league. Support those communities.
All right, Tex. We'll see you next week.
See you.